Hello, today I will be covering how to hide a row or column in Excel. So to begin, there are a few ways to open Visual Basic. The first way is going through the Developer tab, but we don't have that enabled. To do that, you go to File, Options, and then go to Customize Ribbon, and then tick Developer to be a check. Hit OK, and you'll see it popped up here. Now, there's a few things you can do for design or control through this panel, but typically we're just going to go through Visual Basic, so you click it here. Or if you don't want to enable that and see it, you could just hit Alt plus F11 on Windows. Now it's going to pop this window up. This is the Visual Basic screen. Now under here on the left, it shows our project and the objects inside it. So right now we just have sheet 1. So in order to hide a row or column based on a change of a sheet, we're going to double click it. Now this is the window for this worksheet that we're working on. And what you're going to do is type in sub and then worksheet underscore change. What this does is it signifies that we are when we change the worksheet, we want something to happen. And now we're going to do parenthesis by val target as range. Hit enter. And now you'll see there's syntax highlighting. It ended the sub. And you'll see this changed to worksheet and this changed to change. There's a few other functions you could do here. Now suppose we want to hide the column B just on its own. Now we're going to do worksheets and we're going to specify which worksheet. So in this case, sheet 1. We're going to do dot range, which tells us we want to access a certain cell or range of cells. An entire column dot hidden equals true. So just to recap, this grabs the worksheet that we want to change. And then here we are grabbing B2, the cell. You could also do a range like B2 to B500, it doesn't matter. And do dot entire column dot hidden. So we're grabbing the element of hidden for that column, and then we're setting it to true. Now, if we go back to Excel and say we type Y, you'll see that B is now hidden. We only see A and C. Now there's two ways you can unhide this. Manually is the first way, so you highlight between A and C and then just do unhide. Or if we go back to VBA, we could simply set this to false. Oh, let me make it hidden again first. That'd probably be worthwhile. So I'll just do Y again. It's hidden. Now we go change this to false. Change it again, and there it is, unhidden. Now in order to specify if we want to hide a row or column based on a condition, suppose we want to look at the cell A1 and see if it says yes, we will hide it. Otherwise, we will unhide it. So we're going to start by getting an if statement in here. And before I begin, actually, I'll make this simpler so we don't have to keep typing worksheets sheet 1 every time. We're going to do dim, I guess, sheet 1 as worksheet. What this does is declares a new variable called sheet 1, and it is of type worksheet. Then we're going to do set sheet 1 equal to worksheets sheet 1. Now if we go here, we could simply just change this to sheet 1, and we will also change this to true, so we want to hide it. Let's see, now if we go back to Excel here, I already have it hidden, so let me just unhide this real quick. And you'll see it works, it does the same thing. So that's a quick cover on how to use a variable. So suppose we want to see if sheet 1 dot cells, I guess A of the row is 1, and this is A for the column. And we're going to do a check by value and see if it equals yes. Then we want to do something. And in every if statement, we want to have an end if. So if the cell value of 1A is yes, then we're going to hide it. And we will do a simple else. Or you could do else if, that works too, but we'll just do else. Then we will simply unhide this. All right, and now let's see if it works. Let's simply unhide it. There we go. And now we will hide it, and it works. So in order to change or hide the row, all we have to do is replace this entire column with entire row. And there we go. Now let's try this again. There we go. Row 2 is hidden. It goes 1 to 3. And then if we go back to anything else that's yes, then it's 1, 2, 3, and it works. So on a simple level, this is how you would hide a row or column. Now there's one more advanced thing I guess you could do that's beyond this. Suppose you want to change something in a different sheet. So let's say you have sheet 1, which is a master, so I'll call this master. And this is a slave, or whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. Master, slave. The slave will correspond to what the master wants. So if you're doing data entry and you want the master to drive what happens on the slave sheet, then it'll do as you want. So we'll use the same example before with A1. If it says yes, we'll go back here. And now note that since we changed the name of the worksheet, we no longer have sheet 1. This might work. Let's find out actually. Let's do yes. There we go. It doesn't. So reason being is we changed the name of the sheet. So this must also change. This is very important if you do any manipulation and you have variables set in your scripts. Now we will call this sheet 2, and this we want to be the slave. So here we need something to access the worksheet for the slave sheet and one for the master. Now instead of doing sheet 1 is hidden or the row hidden for B2, we're going to do sheet 2. So now if A1 on the master is yes, we will hide the corresponding row or column that we want on the slave. So let's just do no. And it's not hidden. Now if we go and type in yes here, then we will see row 2 is hidden. So there you go. That's it. Now you know how to hide both a row and a column for the same worksheet you're on, or a different worksheet if you choose.